Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we are back on Acidus Crack with our number one player, rAndy. He is versus Stardom today, who is currently a rank 7 on the leaderboard. So this is a top 10 battle here. And let's see how they do. Now instantly we are seeing a difference in spawn position between the two players. As we zoom in on rAndy here, we can see that he is choosing to go for a very much more forward position, which is going to leave his base exposed initially, but will give him more safer expansion to the rear. As we zoom out here, he will be able to zoom around backwards, clear up these mexes pretty easily, and will be able to funnel units out of his base to defend them if needed very quickly. Whereas Stardom, in the back position here on the map, his base is going to be relatively well protected. He is going to have to force his units out either side. He's going to limit his options in terms of sending reinforcements with the hill. He's going to have to send them top or bottom. There is no kind of, free roaming. And yeah, interesting choices in different start positions here. Also, Stardom going for a vehicle factory, which means his commander is going to have to walk to get these metal extractors. Otherwise, he's going to have nothing to claim them. Whereas rAndy has gone bots, and bots should be able to pass up here. They should be able to path up the back here. Maybe up this part here as bots. So cutting off his options by going vehicles, Stardom is. As we zoom in here, we see Andy getting his first few units out. He's already got a grunt out on the field heading towards the expansion options of Stardom, trying to get some vision and see what's going on. rAndy just concentrating on building his economy. He's got these two early engineers out, moving to that expansion that we discussed earlier on. Whereas Stardom over here doesn't currently have any defensive units at all to defend these engineers. And he does have some early scouts out, but other than that, not too much in the way of actual combat units. rAndy able to use the hill here to just straight up attack Stardom's base, which we'll see what he gets in terms of economy damage here. Gonna get, oh wow, this actually may be bad. He gets single metal extractor, the solar that was partway through being built. He gets a half-built construction turret. And Stardom just keeps pushing out more and more scouts. And this grunt's now so leveled up. And he does manage to clear it up, but that is a lot of damage for a single grunt. Losing 2 metal extractors, well, 3 wins, 1 and a bit solars, and a construction turret that was in partial building. That is a big hit for Stardom, and is definitely going to put him behind. All for the cost of a single grunt. Meanwhile, rAndy just about to leave his base, gets the radar up in time to spot the scout that was coming in, and the scout is now not really going to be able to do anything. With rAndy being Cortex, he's able to build these armed metal extractors, which save him from having to build a laser tower. They are quite expensive to build though, so it does make your expansion a little bit slower. But using grunts here to defend his engineer and defend the expansion. Some scouts do get in from Stardom. Is he going to be able to get metal extractor in time? Oh, he will get 1 metal extractor. Not quite the same as rAndy's raid, but still, any raid is a good raid as long as you get some economy damage. Stardom, who we see here moving his commander in the middle here to get that expansion. Now, what we can see is if we zoom out here, you'll notice because of rAndy's starting position, rAndy's comm has only walked, well, you know, would say about a quarter of the map. Stardom's commander has walked about half that distance, but even if his commander walked a quarter of the map, well, about the same sort of length that rAndy has, he would only just be in front of his base, which does leave rAndy with basically kind of this much room, which is 2/3 of the map, and his commander is moving towards the front lines a lot further forward than Stardom. Now, Stardom has said shut up to someone, and it's like he knows I'm talking about him. I'm sorry, Stardom. I'm sorry. Now, one difference we can see here is rAndy has invested very heavily into economy, and that might be to his detriment as we see a big force of blitzes here. Big group, 8 of them, moving in on the south side towards rAndy's economy. And he only has a few grunts. Blitz do trade very favorably into grunts. And rAndy actually switching up into a vehicle plant, actually. So we currently have 2 factories out from rAndy. Only a single factory out from Stardom. Stardom on his 3rd and 4th construction turret. Whereas rAndy hasn't started one yet. And here we see this blitz push. Does get that one armed metal extractor. He's trying to get around the back here, trying to get a little bit more economy damage out if he can from these blitzes. Yeah, this is surprising when the scout died before it could get very far. That LLT will get built, I think, before the blitzes show up. Just as they come through, and they are only going to get that one additional metal extractor. So for 8 blitzes and a scout, they only got a metal extractor, an engineer, and an armed metal extractor, which isn't too bad. Stardom actually doing a great job now at trying to forcefully contain rAndy, and has forced into his base, getting another engineer there and a radar and a metal extractor. Pretty good trade. We see a difference in choices of units here. We see Stardom switch it out to the Stouts, whereas rAndy has decided to go for Lashers, which are the missile trucks. But with having the factory here, as mentioned earlier on, it does mean that rAndy is able to, you know, push units to wherever he needs them. Whereas with the factory at the back here from Stardom, he needs to send them around the hill to get to where they're going. So it takes longer for units to get to where they need to be. Stardom now reacting to these missile trucks, pulling his engineer back. But these missile trucks won't last very long versus Stouts. Already just kind of using it, expecting there to be air, maybe. Also, I'm seeing a lot more people play missile trucks as an option here. Just creeping forward with a large amount of them, hoping for the best, harassing them so that, you know, you're constantly taking damage. Even though it's a little bit of damage, it's constant, and it all adds up eventually. Pounders in the mix there as well. Pounders will do a good job at causing impulse damage, and when I say by that, impulse is what would we call it? It's a movement disruption, so it's got a lot of knockback to the hit, so that when these tanks come piling in, they're going to get slowed down, knocked back, which is going to keep them away from the missile trucks. Also, though, we do see on this side here a large group of grunts forming, 21 in total. With only 4 tanks and 4 blitzes, and Stardom's comp. Stardom has no energy. Trying to build LLTs right out of the base of rAndy. Meanwhile, rAndy is basically in the same mirrored position here as Stardom is. And Stardom actually in a stronger position here map-wise. He has a lot more economy than rAndy right now. It's not going to last for much longer as we see this grunt force push around the side here. Going to be getting a lot of economy damage. But that does open up Stardom's base to a bit of a attack from these stouts that are here. Although with this delay, Stardom has kind of let him build up more forces. The economy advantage he did have is going to get cleared up by these flanking grunts. And he has a lot of units, Stardom, back right in his base. But he's not really making much of a use of it right now. It's funny, we used to see a lot of artillery spamming, which we actually see one coming up here, but now we just see missiles instead. Stardom choosing not to go in on this, choosing to fall back even more, probably due to the grunt force that's here. Ceding even more ground though. This is not good, and Stardom's in a very tricky position here with his commander. Getting forced back from his position with a fug push. He does not have enough stouts coming down this way now due to rAndy's position in here, and all of the expansion economy of Stardom being taken out. And why is that? Because he is going Tech 2. And a spectator here has commented on this windmill being right in front. Unsure whether that's actually going to be able to get out, but that is why he's choosing not to go in, and that's why he's just happy to cede ground for now, because he just needs to hold out, not give up his units, so that he can make the most of Tech 2. But these forces here do actually take out his front line. And we don't see a Tech 2 transition here from rAndy either, but this is a big group of grunts that is about to go into the base of Stardom. Actually choosing not to. Choosing to instead flank. Actually doing nothing. Stardom desperately rushing his commander back. A lot of economy here. 3.9k metal on this front line position. But these forces from rAndy barreling down this north side of the map right towards Stardom's comm. But Stardom equally chasing after Randy's commander here. Don't think it's quite going to be enough as these grunts come over the hill into the base of Stardom. They're not going to do enough. Luckily enough, these lightning tanks are out and are definitely good at clearing up swarm type units like that. But rAndy knows now he needs to push for the win because he is behind not eco-wise, technology-wise at least. Stardom actually not able to make use of the metal. Neither player is actually able to make use of all the metal right now. But a single Tech 2 tank is not really going to stop an army of thugs. And as well, the lightning tanks come down just as the blitzes come in, resurrected blitzes. Stardom, with no radar in his base, is about to get an economy surprise. And this may be the end for Stardom here, as he's going to lose all of his energy income. The Tech 2 tanks dealing with that Thug army with the lightning assistance, but this is not good. All of the windmills of Stardom are getting absolutely obliterated. With his commander, we can just see on the map him desperately trying to build more energy here. And he does manage to keep some of the solars alive. But a lot of his wind power has just completely got destroyed here. It's not over yet. And he's still not transitioning to Tech 2. Stardom does have a decent force of units left. But rAndy making good use of this hill. Stardom is not able to contest the top of this hill. And because he's lost control of the front with his base at the back here, rAndy's able to just walk over the hill straight into Stardom's base multiple time and time again. And with no radar as well, he's just kind of giving free reign. What's he building? He's actually building construction vehicles with the console there. And rAndy actually now also transitioning to Tech 2. Building mammoths, that's very ballsy early on. He does have the advantage right now. Stardom is in a really tough spot. I don't see him able to come back from this. He's at a unit disadvantage right now. And an economy disadvantage. I was about to say I'm surprised we don't see rAndy pushing along the north with just like an engineer to kind of clear stuff up, but we are starting to see that now as well. And Stardom needs to make the most of this time he has with these Tech 2 units and push before rAndy gets his own Tech 2 units on the field, which is what we are about to see. These few lightnings and balls starting to make their way towards rAndy's commander. Little does Stardom know, rather, that he already has a Tech 2 factory, and within seconds a mammoth is built. And the advantage that Stardom had with this Tech 2 is now starting to peter out. Cut these like 3 Roman engineers here just building laser towers. Mammoths can deal with these lightning tanks so quickly. And it's not looking good for Stardom. Come on, Stardom. You can do it. Got this. Bring it back. So economy difference. Let's have a quick look at that while we see the units chasing in the background. When it comes to metal produced, Stardom is still in the lead. Only by 1,000 metal though. Energy production, rAndy is way ahead, but he has accessed an additional 30k. Now what we do see here is Stardom making the most out of the slowness of this mammoth by clearing up the rest of those Tech 1 units, and now pushing in while there's only the one mammoth on its own. No more units left to support. A few fiends have been built already. But the lightning tanks also do somewhat well against fiends, but the self-destruct there of the fiends, good call. For those that aren't aware, fiends have a larger self-destruct radius, and if you can time it right, they're like a little mini bomb. But this is dangerous for rAndy. If he loses this Tech 2 factory here, oh, the EMP, that is not good. rAndy's can quite easily deal with these tanks now. That's a lot of balls to lose the EMP. Very well played there. Very, very well played by rAndy here. What was almost a guaranteed factory kill if Stardom kept up the pressure has now turned into Stardom bringing up the rear yet again. Trying to use these engineers here to get some of this reclaim. 5k metal reclaim that was there just outside of rAndy's base. A lot of that from the mammoth. 500 from each of the bulls. These engineers are probably going to get mopped up by the fiends pretty quick. Bull's doing an okay job at kind of holding off this stuff for now, but they can get overwhelmed pretty quickly, and we're starting to see that now. More lightning tanks coming out here to deal with the grunts. but the Resbots are able to eat up those balls in record time. And I just don't see how Stardom can pull this back. He needs to make a big push or a big play of some type to get through and do some economy damage. He's trying his best, but with the commander being just there, it makes it difficult for him to push in with his balls. And with that Tech 2 point defense going up, it's going to make Stardom's push into this position even harder. He knows he needs to take out this Tech 2 factory while he can. And we see another stealth bot here being built. Will Stardom fall for the same mistake again? Stardom's calm in a very delicate position here. No support from any units. Does he have vision? No. This is potentially bad. Does rAndy have vision? Somewhat. Oh, he's lucky. Oh no, this isn't good. The grunts have spotted him. Stardom desperately trying to run away, but he needs some good D-guns. Lightning tanks on their way to assist. Let's hope it's not too little too late. No, lightning tanks come in clutch here to save Stardom's comm from being ambushed. Stardom should have been able to deal with them with D-guns, but you know, D-guns are only as good as how you aim them. See some Mausers coming out here now to deal with the pop-up artillery. And the lightning tanks again on this north side just to clear up this grunt push. Both those LLTs will go down, but no major damage done. And Stardom again pushing on his own with his commander on this north side here, trying to get a little bit more control. rAndy doing very well here. Economy wise, he's quite a bit ahead now as we see 95 metal income as opposed to the 50-ish of Stardom. Mausers are going to force some form of a play here from rAndy. He's pushing down this bottom side here with a bunch of grunts at the same time. And the EMPs go off, causing most of the balls to get EMP'd. And with that, Stardom has nothing to clean up the grunt push that comes through. And Fiends. The Mammoth still alive, now with 2 Mammoths on the field as well. Stardom's army literally about to get wiped up by this swarm of grunts that comes along the bottom side here. Oh, and that is not good. rAndy will be easily able to get that 7.3k reclaim. And now Stardom's commander alone on the front line. D-gun misses. Got a couple of good D-guns there. Manages to get the Fiends, but not enough in time. And Stardom's commander goes up in smoke. Well played, rAndy and Stardom. That's the reason rAndy is #1. Great positioning and just kept the pressure up. Stardom forced on the defensive consistently and constantly ceding ground. I hope you all have enjoyed this one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more bar content, and I'll see you guys next time.